Hey everybody, welcome to SwJ. Today we're picking up where we left off last time, working on my jeans. Have a very large patch that we're putting in. It's not going to end up being this completely this big, but what I do is I put a larger patch over the area, pin everything in case I need to make adjustments or anything, and then I trim everything afterwards. So we're carrying on where we left off on that one, and we are going to be talking about solar power on water, and that's proving to be a very popular combination these days because they help each other. The solar panels provide shade for the water, and this prevents harmful blooms of algae from growing, prevents vegetation from choking out the waterways or your lake or whatever source. The water in return provides a cooling effect for the solar panels, and the solar panels operate. They're claiming about 10% more efficiently when they are located uh, relative to water. Um, so there's a really good coexisting relationship between solar panels and water, which is a little odd because you've always been taught that electricity and water don't mix. However, technology has come a long ways, and the cables that they have that go underwater have come a long ways. And so we're going to go to South Korea now for an example. And what they have done in South Korea is they've replaced coal with solar islands. Now, the solar islands are shaped to resemble plum blossoms. So basically, a five-leaf pattern. So a central, it looks like big lily pads, but five-leaf lily pads. Um, and they say they're said to resemble local plum blossoms. And they have a reservoir which is 17 miles long. And they have placed these panels along these 17 miles of reservoir, not covering the entire place, but wherever they could fit them and wherever it worked out. So 17 miles of reservoirs now producing electricity. And having that mutually beneficial relationship we spoke of earlier between the solar panels and the water, it also prevents evaporation. And when you are dealing with reservoirs in places where you really don't want evaporation, because the more water you have, the better. You know, it's a reservoir. It's good to have water in reserves. And that 17 miles of reservoir with the plum blossom solar islands, they produce 41.5 megawatts. 41.5 megawatts of power. Which, while it's not enough to make the DeLorean travel through time, it is enough to supply all of South Korea with power. DeLorean was 1.21 gigawatts, in case anyone was trying to remember. And the population of South Korea is only about 60,000, if I got that from the article correctly. So not a very large population. Further down. Started coming across a little too soon. Need to actually get in under the pocket a little bit more. Now, similar topic, but moving over to California. Now, California has a very large canal. And this canal has a pilot project on it right now. They have covered 1 mile of this canal with solar panels. Just as a proof of concept sort of deal. And that 1 mile produces 5 megawatts of clean power, while also experiencing all the additional benefits which we discussed earlier. And the big one here being reducing the evaporation, because it's a canal and they want water in the canal. California is a dry state, so being warm and sunny all the time does have its disadvantages, I suppose. And one of those would be increased water evaporation. And drought situations probably a lot of the time. And they say that if California were to cover the thousands of miles of canals that they have, in order to reduce evaporation, improve the waterway, they would generate 13 gigawatts of power. 13 gigawatts. And that wouldn't completely solve their energy issues, but it would go a long way. California has a much larger population than South Korea. I don't know what it is, but much higher. And it would also be enough to power the DeLorean through time more than 10 times. So 13 gigawatts. The DeLorean takes 1.21. Go for 10 travels through time and still have some power to spare. And thank goodness the DeLorean wasn't solar powered. because then they would have made 10 of those movies. I know they made a few, and I watched I think all of them. And they were good. They were all good. Just, you can't really beat the first one. You know. Movies a lot of times seem to be that way. It's really, really difficult to top the first movie. Because it's the character development. It's, you know, new experiences. You don't know what's going to happen. You know, if they made a sequel to, oh shoot, what was that movie called where the kid's like, I see dead people? If they made a sequel to that, it'd be kind of a bummer because, you know, yep, he's dead. We know there's no the big twist movies. You know, it's tough to follow a big twist like that with a sequel. Anyway, so a lot of potential in California for solar production. It seems like solar islands or floating solar is becoming the main source these days. The other beneficial thing about floating solar or solar over canals, like in California, is that you don't have to use up other land for that purpose. You can leave your farmland as farmland. You don't have to put solar panels all over it or try to integrate solar panels into the farmland. And it's areas that weren't being used otherwise anyways. You know, it's canals and reservoirs and that sort of thing. It's not like public waterways or public areas like that. Be one thing that hydroelectric dams could do as well to start adding to the clean energy part of things is string some of the floating islands downstream of the dams, or have them anchored upstream, or however you would work it for best efficiency. But connect that with the hydroelectric generating power of the dams, have solar on there, mount wind generation onto the dams. You know, they've built all these new places with wind farms and whatnot. Why not make hydroelectric installations more efficient? And maybe not more efficient, but more productive. I would guess more efficient per installation or square area, or however I'm trying to explain it here. It was. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. And just, you know, and instead of having an entire new place use what you have, use the land that you already have rather than buying more. Um, if you can safely anchor uh, a wind turbine onto a dam, why not? Or run some of these solar islands. Sounds like a good idea to me. So anyway, I'm gonna pull the pins on this episode and say thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate the time we get to spend together. It's nice, relaxing, good chill time. I hope you feel the same way. And yeah, I'm excited to get these jeans going again. It'll be a while. There's a lot of work here. And episodes are only so long. I'm trying to figure out what to do with this pin. I kind of want to keep this from flapping around. So I might have to come back in and come across and maybe just come back up a little bit to anchor that seam. Yeah, if I'm going in through the pocket, so what I'll probably do is work my way back up to this point and then across here and down. So I just got to work back towards that corner. And yeah, till next time, keep chilling. Don't forget your cookie. Peace.